Hey guys, I am back with the 60 Great Women Enshrined in Islamic History. We are going over Aisha Raziatalla's life. So, if we, under the best of her moons, where she had a dream of three moons that fell into her lap during her dream. One of the moons split was Prophet, peace be upon him. Now, the second moon is her father, Abu Bakr Raziallahu. Abu Bakr Raziallahu urged his daughter Aisha that he be buried next to the Prophet, peace be upon him. So when he passed away, a grave was dug for him next to that of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his head was placed at the level of the Prophet's shoulder, and the second full moon fell into Aisha's lap. Abu Bakr chose Aisha from among his children to be the charge of carrying out his will. So, in the reign of Umar radiallahu, Aisha's scholarly role and important work in the narration of hadith and accounts of the Prophet's life emerged and began to become prominent. Uh, Umar radiallahu and the greatest of the Prophet's companions began turning to Aisha when in question and over matters concerning women and personal relationships as well as other matters of life. In fact, they turned to Aisha more than they did of any other mothers of the believers. For all the mothers were narrators of the Prophet, peace be upon him, hadith, but none like Aisha and Salama radiallahu. Aisha also really issued religious legislation fatwa during the reigns of Umar and Uthman radiallahu. Now, under the third moon, when Umar radiallahu was stabbed by the murderer and carried to his home, he quickly sent his son Abdullah to ask for Aisha's permission that he be buried in her quarter. Um, to So he mentioned to his son, speak to Aisha, mother of the believers, and say, Umar sends you the prayer of peace, and do not say the commander of the believers, Umar's official title, for today I am no commander to the believers, and say, Umar bin Khattab seeks permission to be buried by his two companions. So he went and asked permission to enter the quarters of Aisha Razatala. He found her sitting in her place sobbing, and he related to his father's wishes to her. She said, I wanted it for myself, and I indeed prefer him to myself today. When Abdullah returned to her, found Omar raised from his bed and leaning on a Umar Razatullah asked his son, what do you have of news? Abdullah replied, what you love, O commander of the believers, she has given her permission. Umar Razatullah said, praise to be Allah, there was nothing more important to me than that resting place. O Abdullah, son of Umar, observe, once I have passed, carry me on my bed, then stand at her door and say, Umar bin Khattab seeks permission to enter. If she grants it, then take me in. If she refuses me, then take me to the graveyard of the Muslims, for I worry that her permission now has been granted because of my place as a ruler. When he passed away and was carried to Aisha's door as instructed, she granted him permission and was buried in her quarters. And that was the third moon finally placed in Aisha's lap.